Edgar Cayce on Prayer and Meditation. Part 5. What should be done to cleanse the body in the proper way? Same as has oft been given, through prayer, through meditation, through the purifying of self. Live a normal, active life. Guide the inner self through those experiences that may come in the meditations, in the seeking to the inner self. Spiritual foods. These are needed by the body just as the body physical needs fuel in the diet. The body mental and spiritual needs spiritual food. Prayer, meditation, thinking upon spiritual things. For thy body is indeed the temple of the living God. Treat it as such, physically and mentally. Set definite periods for prayer, set definite periods for meditation. Know the difference between each. Prayer, in short, is appealing to the divine within self, the divine from without self, and meditation is keeping still in body, in mind, in heart, listening to the voice of thy Maker. In the study of self and self's relationships to thy fellow man, leave off the way open for the Spirit of truth in Christ to guide through meditation and prayer. Give the glory always to him that has promised to guide and keep the way, studying to show self approved first unto God, divining the words of truth from the teachers that are accepted in thine experience, and making the moral, the social and spiritual life a practical application of same in the daily life. No new word, for as he has given from the first, the earth is standing in the water and out of the water. So it is today in thine understanding. Ye are within the world and, in thine study and thine meditation, without the world. Ye are within the water and without the water. Then know that he is the living water, that springs ever anew in thine acts, in thine associations, in thine relationships with thy fellow man. For as ye have done it unto the least of thy brethren ye have done it unto the Lord, thy Christ, thy God. What caused the dark cloud like a roll of black smoke that seemed to envelope me as a child while in bed at night? The sensitivity of the child in that period of its transition. This should have been cultivated. Do not begin such in the present, except from the angle of prayer and meditation. Is there anything besides prayer and meditation which I can do for my spiritual development and for this new soul? As has been outlined, the study of various phases of experiences of individuals through their relationship to creative forces, and their relationship to their fellow man. For, remember, the soul that is brought into the earth is only lent to thee by the Lord. And the impressions, and that purpose that ye build into that, is that ye send back to thy Maker in the end. What has been the relation of the religious ecstasies that have seized me, to my health, and to the recovery from my ailment? These are only reflexes and are portions of the imaginative forces, as indicated from the karmic reactions. We find that these will be met only by the activities of prayer, meditation, and the application physically made, rather than the mental or emotional ecstasies, of just gentleness, kindness, patience, brotherly love, these applied, not preached, but applied daily. In gaining that understanding, as necessary for the body-mind, to set its ideal, there, as has been given, are many combative forces, but let that mind be in thee, as was in him. Here am I, O God, use me in thy service. May the meditations of my heart, day by day, be in accord with that thou would have me do, in body, and in mind. Why have I felt within the last few years that a definite, regular period of meditation or prayer is unnecessary? This is that spirit of wavering that has been a part of the experience. And that experience of seeing the suffering face, the bleeding hand, should be that warning, be constant in prayer, meditate oft, if ye would have him enter. This is as a temptation, but forsake not thy regular period, thy daily communion, thy daily walk and talk with him. Know that the body in its meditations, in its prayers, in its supplications, may make for the creating of those environs through which greater expectations, or greater souls may manifest. For in those periods of gestation the attitude of those responsible, those that will take upon themselves the activities, brings to themselves the greater souls that become the blessings to themselves, to others, to the world. For as has been given, blessed are they that bring forth a man-child. Maintain those periods of meditation and prayer, and look to the awakening of those influences within self that make for the awareness within the inner self of the abilities in the creative energies to so construct, so be active in the system as to overcome these conditions that disturb the body in the form of repressions through the influences of forces from without self, by associations of conditions that we have spoken of. The body in its mental, in its mind, may meet itself by meditation and prayer and looking within. Remember that which has been given. If ye will be my son, I will be thy God. Honor thy father, thy mother, thy brother, thy friend, yea, thine enemy. For he that is kind to his fellow man lendeth to the Lord, he will repay. For know, as he hath given. Lo, I am with thee always, even unto the end. This is not a mere saying, but an awareness which one may find through that attuning through meditation, through prayer, through the opening of self for direction by him. There are those activities set that are without and within. The mind of the body, in its meditations, in its seeking, is acted upon both by that from within and that from without. And the free will or choice is that which makes for the difference between those that have become aware of their soul and its relationship to the Maker. This entity, in its material, feels that there is a psychic calling, a possibility of developing psychically. Do you see, now, at this moment, any such possibility? Answer yes or no, if possible. Yes. Each soul is a portion of the divine, and that is the psychic or soul force, which is a manifestation that cries, as it were, for expression. In the material plane, there are many manners of a manifestation of the beauty of love, of patience, of hope, of long-suffering, that are the attributes of the psychic forces, or soul forces in material plane. Let the entity oft meditate, consistently, as this, using the thoughts expressed in the words we will give, and there will be found the attuning more and more to the influences that find expressions in varied manners. Not all are attuned alike, any more than any leaf upon a tree is the same as another, in form, in response, or what not, or any two blades of grass exactly the same. Each soul then is, as these, attuned in its own individual application of the truth of his presence in each individual soul. Do study closely those promises of the divine that's in the way, and the truth and the light, and know deep within self that all healing of every nature must come from the divine, and the divine is within self. For thy body is indeed the temple of the living God. Therein ye may meet him in prayer, in meditation, in psalm singing, yea, in the activities of fasting, in not only the foods, but in opening the mind, the consciousness, consciously to that which may flow in from music, from prayer, those influences which may flow in from deep meditation, which may be gained in having regular periods for this shutting out from self of the voices, or the sounds of nature, and listening to the still small voice within. Exactly what happens to my physical body during meditation. In deep meditation there descends the influences to open the channels along those vistas, as has been given, to the inmost recesses of the creative forces in body, that arise then to the varied centers, and find expression either through the movements of the body in the hearing of sound, in the consciousness of odors, in the activity of the vision, or there is just the presence that may be read, as the open book. Or, to put in other terms, as has been given, the records of time and space, present and future, are upon those films that lie between time and space, and they become attuned to those forces of the infinite, as the cells of the body become attuned to the music of the realms of light and space and time. When meditating at night, what color light should I use? White light. Any colored lights make for a diffusion of that as may be perfect. What light was in him that is light, that is life, that is out of darkness? White light. Budget the time, that there may be a regular period for sustaining the physical being, also for sustaining the mental and spiritual being. As it is necessary for recreation and rest for the physical, so it is necessary that there be recreation and rest for the mental. The spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. Do not court the flesh, but do give voice and heed to keeping the body as the temple of the living God, as indeed it is. Purify it. Keep it clean, in physical, as well as in mind, that it indeed may offer that channel through which thy Maker may speak to thee. For as he has promised, I will meet thee in thy temple of thine own body. Communicate then, in prayer, in meditation, in thoughtfulness, not as to how ye may be this or that, but as to how ye may do this or that, for thy Maker, for thy fellow man. For the manner in which ye treat others is the manner in which thee are treating thy Maker. How can the Christ consciousness be aroused within her? Through the cooperative forces of individuals who give themselves as channels for such an activity. Any other suggestions for the body at this time? These we would do in the present. And let the meditation and the prayer ever be of those that would aid. Raise thou, O God, in this body, that which is the best as thou seest fit. That there may be the harmony that comes in thy love for this soul. Joe, and I spiritually fitted to be married. This may best be determined in self by taking that which is the desire in the heart of each to him that giveth light and understanding, through prayer and meditation in his ways. For, let thy going-ins, thine coming-outs, be founded in the ways he would direct, in thine meditations. How can I develop my mental forces to the greatest extent in the present? By more constant meditation, and putting into action day by day a little more patience, a little more love, a little more forgiving, a little more prayer. These develop the mental of the subconscious to that point of spiritual activity. Being made in the flesh, heir to the weaknesses of same, one becomes more spiritual by the even balance that is obtained by making personal application, doing that, even though it hurt, that will aid another, not that self is to be crucified that another may have ease in the material sense. That another may have understanding in the mental and spiritual sense, sure, for my yoke is easy, my burden is light, is seldom understood. When the desire and the purpose, the application, is one, then it becomes easy, but when they are at variance one to another, hard is the way, and the call of the flesh becomes strong. Jupiter and Venus indicate the egotism, the beauty, music, people, things and association as being parts of the consciousness, and thus, as we find, as indicated, first do find thine own self, its relationship to creative forces, or God, and the ideal manner in which this is to be acted upon in the experience, by prayer, by meditation, knowing the variations in same, analyzing self and knowing the variation between the personality of self and the individuality of self. One will find through such analyses the manner in which the abilities, which are apparent and manifest in this entity may be applied in a constructive way and manner. Should I register with the Red Cross? If that is desirable for self, very well. All of such activities should be choices made in self, after deep thought, deep meditation, seeking, asking for guidance. 4. The answer must ever be within self as to the direction ye should choose, rather than ever being swayed by other influences. For, as he hath given, his way is not past finding out. Search, seek, and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto thee. For he hath promised, where thou needest, I am. And oft may there be that direction, it is I, fear not, be not afraid. How can the body go about to create the harmony that is desired in the home life? By taking a stand for that as is known in self, as to be the proper, the correct relationships as must and will exist, and keep to that as is known and felt, irrespective of anything else. What prayer can be held by the body as a guide to that he wishes to attain? May the meditations of my heart, of my mind, of my body, be wholly acceptable in thy sight, my Lord and my Redeemer.